Good evening. It is February 10th, and today we're going to have a GAFE. I heard that that's how you pronounce it, GAFE, but some people say GAFE. GAFE Summit, Hawaii Summit Q&A, and we are very fortunate today to have Wendy Gorton with us. And she's the Director of International Education for Google. For the EdTechTeam. And so we'll talk to her in a minute, but first we're going to have Jody and Melanie tell us who they are. Jody, could you tell us who you are, please?
Hi, I'm Jody Brown, Kalama Intermediate School librarian.
Melanie?
Hi, I'm Melanie Ching. I'm the technology facilitator at Waialae Elementary School.
And ta-da, we have Wendy Gorton, who is going to answer all kinds of questions for us. She will be here in Hawaii for the GAFE Summit. And take it away, Wendy. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about yourself, your interesting background.
Yeah, thanks, Linda. Thanks, Jody and Melanie. Really excited to be here. Aloha, everybody. We are really excited to be coming at our third year to the islands and bringing awesome professional learning to Hawaiian educators. We are a team at EdTechTeam, a team of educational technologists from all over the world. We're all former classroom teachers, educators, administrators, and we really kind of all got united through the Google Teacher Academy program, where I met Linda and a lot of the Hawaiian educators we work with, like Brendan Brennan and a lot of folks out there. So we've always been really surprised and excited how strong of an educational community Hawaii has, and we're so stoked to be a part of it here again this time in March. But I've worked with EdTechTeam here the last few years. I started out as a 4th grade classroom teacher and started working internationally in India as a tech integrator and coach. And that's where I kind of fell in love with working with teachers, and have been really fortunate to work with EdTechTeam here with organizing summits for Google Apps for Education, iOS, all sorts of goodies. I also work with Google on a lot of their African and Asian teacher learning experiences. So I'm always really excited to help teachers fall in love with using technology in the classroom to make awesome inquiry-based, project-based learning happen. So we're really excited about this upcoming summit. It looks like it's going to sell out again, and we've got our schedule out, and we're really excited to take any questions that come out there about if you're thinking about going, or what this experience can do for you as an educator and your personal learning network, and finding out where this all fits into you and your classroom.
Great. Could you show us the website, Wendy?
Yeah,
that's up.
sure. Let me share my screen. Everyone can find it. It's just hi.gafesummit.com. And that'll take you to some general information about the event. It's at the lovely, lovely Iolani School, working with Allison Blankenship out there, and their amazing program, and even just being hosted at the school is so inspiring, simply because of the program they have, and it's so neat to be able to sit in their classes. I loved last year learning about their kind of design lab, makerspace that they have going on, and all the cool stuff that their kids are doing. So here, let me drop into the chat so you guys can find it, and then I'll share my screen and share a little bit more about the event with you. Let's make sure I open the right screen. There we go. Cool. Can you guys see it?
I see it. Now I see it.
Perfect. Okay, cool. So yeah, here's the site to learn more about it, March 20th and 21st. And if you look, you can get all the information about Iolani School, and then you can see, if you want to try to see what the 2 days will look like, you can poke on down here, and it's 2 days that are kind of flanked by keynotes from some really, really awesome speakers that we have this year. If you click, you kind of have to click on one of the sessions to pull up the pull up the schedule, and you can see we've got just an absolutely stellar team of folks from EdTechTeam, and also Google certified teachers and trainers like Danila Marone, one of our awesome GCTs out there. So lots of really great people coming to share really hands-on sessions with everybody at the summit. And if you look, we have some really cool keynotes, inspiring keynotes like Swan Yo from Google for Education. He's based out of Sydney, and he's always such an inspiring talk, and is always super open to chatting with teachers about what they're doing in their classroom, what Google can do better, and how they can serve the community.
I love his title.
I know, right? Don't you wish you could just be an education evangelist? I think we all are, right? That's what we all do when we get down to it. And then you can kind of go through, he'll kick off the day, and he's keynoted for events for us around the world and really brings a nice global perspective, and just such an easygoing guy and great speaker. So he's going to be really fun to have the first day. And then if you've never been to a summit or a conference like this, it's really broken up into 4 different sessions that you go to throughout the day. And really, we like to tell educators, whether they're advanced with Google tools or brand new, you can really, look at the schedule ahead of time and start to plot out your day. Just because a lot of teachers sometimes get overwhelmed, me included when I go to conferences. There's so much, right? And you're not sure which one to go to, and you don't want to miss out. So I really encourage folks to look at, what am I doing in my classroom right now? What do I want to be doing? And then really just look through and try to plan out a session that fits you, right? And a lot of them, you'll notice, some are just for getting going, right? For brand new, like James Sanders, one of our awesome team members from San Francisco. He'll do 0 to Ninja with Google Docs, and James is so great. He'll, really walk you through some activities that you can take away and use the following Monday. And so I like that there's a great mix of those kind of sessions with also, pedagogical sessions, right? Like not just learning how to use a tool, but maybe learning how to use it for teacher education, or how to use it in the science classroom, in very example-specific ways. So you get to choose which room you'll go to, and of course Iolani's team has great facilities, and snacks are all around, and lunch, and so there's lots and lots of times to also collaborate in between the sessions. So you get to meet other educators over coffee, and that's really our goal, is like we really want to, have folks learn about some of these programs, meet each other, and hopefully make educator colleagues and friends for life after they leave. So we really want to make sure that this is something that can be a community that you're entering in, for sure. And then you'll.
Is it going on right now? So it started at 7.
And then there's usually a closing ceremony for the day, which is really a highly anticipated demo slam, where we all get up and share the best that we've got in 3 minutes, and that's always there's a crown to be won at the end, so it's really a nice high energy time with lots of goodies and swag being thrown about, so it's always a good time for sure. And that's day 1, and then you come back again, you get to go home and let it hopefully digest and dream about some of these tools and what it could do for your classroom. And then you come back and you get to see the amazing Jenny Magera from Chicago Public Schools, Google certified teacher and trainer, and just one of the most inspiring speakers and educators I've ever met. And she really shares great stories from working with administrators and fellow teachers about what it means to change your classroom, because we all know how tough that can be, no matter what level you're at, to make meaningful change. So Jenny's going to get up there and crush it, and then you get to go and choose more sessions, and you can click on these, and anyone that you don't go to, the presenters will post their contact information, their slides, their activities that they have you do. So I really tell folks to make sure that they do their homework and come back, and also add these people to their networks, add them to Twitter, add them on Google+, and keep in touch, because you'll keep learning from them even after the summit. And so you'll get to go through 4 more sessions, eat some food, talk to awesome educators. And then James Sanders is actually our closing keynote, and he talks about failing and how we can help our children and ourselves embracing failure when you try something new and iterating on it and doing great things for you and your students. So that's the schedule in a nutshell, and really what the 2 days is like. Again, bring your devices and be ready to work, right? These aren't slide sessions where you sit and listen to somebody, telling you all the things you can do. A lot of our sessions are really throwing you in and getting you practice and inspiring you, hopefully, to come back. And that's our 2 days. Anything to add, Linda, from your experience with the schedule and the speakers and the venue?
Yeah, I really like the pacing of it, but I wanted to mention about Jenny Magera. She was in our New York Google Certified Teacher cohort, and she was a dynamo. I knew she was going places, and she certainly is. And I think she has agreed to come on Google Rocks the week before, to talk about women in technology. So I'm really looking forward to see her. And then I wanted to mention Michael and Michelle just came on. Welcome, Michael and Michelle. They're our regulars, Wendy. And I had asked Michael if he would talk about his Iron Chef session because it sounds so exciting and different. So, Michael, you want to? Oh.
Yeah, I'll pull Michael's session up here on the program, too. Hi, Michael. Good to see you again.
Hey, you too, Wendy.
Yeah, let me pull up Michael's session here.
Michael, where are you, Michael? What city?
San Diego.
San Diego.
For the EdTech Teacher iPad Summit. Yeah. So we just finished day 1, tomorrow's day 2. Cool. And then I'll be back on the island on Thursday.
Wow. Whirlwind. Jet setter.
Yeah, so the Iron Chef, it's actually, I'm just following Megan Cummings. She had an Iron Chef session at the Schools of the Future conference in November. And so we thought it might be a cool idea to do one that's more Google focused. And it kind of follows after the Iron Chef competition at the HST conference that we attended 2 years ago in San Antonio. Yes. And there we'll probably create it the same style, but it's a 2-day session. So if you want to participate, you have to come to both sessions, one on each day. And the first day we'll form groups, and we give each group some ingredients, and they have to create something from those ingredients.
I'm not the only one.
And then and then on the second day,
California,
they'll create a presentation and present their product that they create from their ingredients, their recipe.
Professional.
And we'll have a panel of judges to vote.
Hold on a second. Melanie, sure. Melanie.
Oh, okay.
I think you think you're muted, but you're not.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
It's okay.
I was looking for the camera thing, but I couldn't find it, so I decided to say, "Hi, Melanie."
Hi.
Sorry. Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah. So on the second day, they'll present their product to a panel of judges, and we'll put it up for voting. And the winning group is deemed the Iron Chef champions for the Hawaii Google Summit. So it should be a lot of fun. Yeah.
That is really cool.
Awesome. Yeah, I brought up Michael and Megan's session here, and you can read about it on the site as well. All the sessions are there, and I'm sure Michael will have some awesome resources. But this is such a cool, creative concept, and one that kind of is at the heart of the event, is that, really to take something and make it a project and something you want to work on. So I love that it's a 2-day session. I hope I'm not presenting at the same time. I want to come back.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
Great. And I think Michelle is presenting. I noticed, Michelle, that you're presenting at the same time 2 places. How are you going to do that?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a special talent I have. I'm not sure. Via Google Hangout. Yeah.
I'm guessing they'll probably change it. But what are you presenting on, Michelle?
One of the sessions I'm presenting with Dr. Mary Beth Baldwin from Lab School. Last year, we were invited to participate with her virtual volcano field trip. It was actually something she and Brendan Brennan put together. And Halikula fourth graders participated in that along with students on the Big Island and then students at Nanakuli and Lab School. So it's a really neat virtual field trip using Google Hangouts, connecting with experts, and just we wanted to talk about how you can use Hangouts to connect students with, like I just said, experts, but also other classrooms around the world. We also had a school from Mexico, actually, that joined us, so that was really fun. So we'll share, and then my other session is about using Google Plus as a way to build relationships with your faculty, so as a professional learning opportunity.
That's great. And I'm doing one on Chrome extensions, which I love. So hopefully the people who come will also have ones that they contribute to.
Awesome. What's your favorite Chrome extension?
Oh, my favorite. I can't pick a favorite. Don't pick a favorite, Wendy. Come on now.
I know.
You have to come to the session.
Which 5 could you not live without? Yeah, there's so many. That's why those sessions are so fun to, you know, you don't have to take all of them away, but hopefully 1 or 2 stick with you in your practice for sure.
And I love that.
I see the word zombie apocalypse there, and I'm intrigued.
Yeah, James Sanders.
What is that one about?
So here, let's look at it's James. He's our closing keynote, and he's I think he walked through, and it's really cool a way that how it kind of ties it all together, right? And that's what's kind of neat about Google Apps is that everything's tied together. But I think he sets it in zombie apocalypse. How could you survive? So, and I heard it was he just did it at the Southern Summit, and it was a hit. So there may or may not be zombie blood and zombie makeup. We'll see.
Cool.
How many of these summits are there in the world, Wendy? Do you have any idea?
Gosh, I think in 2015 there'll be, I think we just had our 100th summit, and I think there's at least one a week with many weeks with 1 or 2. So yeah, it's been a really great way to connect educators to learn about, you know, education in different contexts and the problems and struggles in different cities and states and countries around the world. But the common denominator is just awesome, passionate teachers showing up and excited to learn from, you know, other teachers about how to do this in their classrooms. So yeah, it's been really fun, and we just it's been nice to repeat and go back and have folks come a second and third time and really grow on the tools and the strategies and pedagogies they got last time, and really see their you know, and see them get more involved in the Google community. A lot of folks after a summit will join the, you know, apply and join the Google Teacher Academy and Google Certified Teacher Network or Trainer Network, and really get involved with, you know, like Brendan works with Google on a lot of different fronts as well, with helping shape professional learning. So it's really been really cool to see the Hawaiian community be represented so strongly in different ways.
That's great. How many countries have you not been to, Wendy?
Oh gosh, me or the summits?
You personally.
Oh gosh, wow, that's a good one. I actually just had to count it for something. Some sort of application asked how many countries. You had to list them all. I think it was 47. It's not. There's still so many more to go, and that's what's so fun about Google Maps. And I always usually teach a Maps or a Earth session or a global collaboration. That's what I'm really passionate about. So it's always fun to connect teachers with. Here, I'll come back on.
Do you have a map tagged with all the countries you've been to? Do you have one set up?
Gosh, yeah, I know I have a couple collaborative maps where projects I've worked on, so someone can go find it. But I should just have, I think, my TripAdvisor account. I'm a big TripAdvisor. I like to type up my hotel reviews. So I think that's probably the most accurate travel map I have is for that.
That'd be cool.
But the summits you can see on the on our summit website. You can see where we're headed next and where we've been. So that's been really fun, and been really fun to work with some of the local teachers in all these countries and get them excited. But it's meant that we have worked in some challenging places, so people who don't have Wi-Fi but what's funny is like people have the same struggles around the world, no matter where you're at. Access to devices, access to the internet, and time as teachers to put it all together. So a lot of our sessions are cognizant of that and really trying to find creative ways to become leaders and to become really helping become an exemplar for Hawaii and for the world, I think, for sure.
Neat. Does anyone have any questions of Wendy?
Yeah, I have a question, Wendy. Some of our teachers at Halikula are presenting for the first time at the Google Summit. They're really excited, but they're a little bit nervous about what it might mean to gamify the session. So I wondered if you could just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's been a fun thing that we started about a year ago with helping gamify or make your sessions, badge earning, or a way for you to, accomplish a task on some of the task-based activities that you might run across. But it's okay if you're a new presenter. And that's really what I've loved about the summits. Have been such an awesome opportunity for folks, in a state or a country to say, oh, this is my first outlet. I do this cool stuff. I want to share this with people. And so we've really loved helping find these awesome presenters and giving them a stage to share. So it's optional if they want to try it. And some teachers are into it, some aren't, and it's just another fun way to differentiate for the folks who like earning little stickers or showing their badges off. But yeah, so essentially you can, if you say you're teaching the Iron Chef like Michael's doing, Michael could have a task within the Iron Chef that if you wanted to reach a certain badge, like the Getting Going badge, or different fun like Future Ready badge, if you finish one in that session, then you can just give it out at the end to anybody who completes the task. So it could be very simple, like, great, we all practice making a Google Drawings poster for, poverty, awareness project or something. If you turn it into me, you can come up and get your badge. So yeah, and luckily there'll be some great communications from Molly Schrader, our director of the summits, who can help teach people if they're interested in that. One, how to participate as a presenter, and two, how to earn them as an attendee.
So it's kind of like maybe including a hands-on something or another in our presentation, so the participants can even meet other people, or like you said, use a Google tool and then share it out. It's kind of like that idea.
It's totally up to the presenter to decide, looking at their session and being like, is there a final project in the class in the 60 minutes, right? I know as a presenter, all of a sudden you start and then it's over. So I'm always pretty ambitious and think I'm going to get to all these things, and sometimes we might just make it to one or two. But it's kind of nice to have something at the end, and it kind of helps shape presenters' session to make sure that there is something hands-on that's takeawayable in some way, and you don't have to complete it. Depending on what type of learner you are, I know we're all different too as adults. You might just be, I'm gonna chill during this session and I'm just gonna listen, and that might be your way. So it's totally cool for presenters or for attendees to take a back seat to that. But we found from feedback that teachers kind of like it, and if you're like me, I can't really show my laptop, but I'm pretty sticker heavy on mine, so it's always fun to say, ooh, where did you get that one? Or
Okay. And actually, we don't have to make the badges ourselves. It's badges you folks will give to us to give to the attendees.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so if you sign up there, and usually right about now, about a month before, Molly will send out if you're interested in badgifying or gamifying your session. And then if you sign up, when you come get your name badge the day of, you'll get a baggie of awesome, enough for all of your sessions, of cool little stickers that you can put. But if you want to ever buy a badge maker, as a teacher, I invested in one, like one of these, like these kind of badge makers.
Yes.
And you can get them for like $100, and like, oh gosh, I went crazy, and I would give them to my kids, and like if they earn something. But I think it's a fun thing to add on to stuff.
That's a great idea, badge maker.
Yeah,
Think about
I
that,
went
how I
to
can
summer
use
camp,
that.
and I remember, I mean, that's kind of where the ethos I think came from, like Girl Scouts or summer camp, and they're really fun to make. You just make little squares and put them out. But these are stickers, not like these fun ones. But that would be a good idea
Mm-hmm.
There's also the 2 days before the conference. There is a couple of pre-summit opportunities with folks that you can go to if you want more in-depth. Like last year, had John Bailey from the Google Maps team come out and get really hands-on and work with teachers all day, 8 hours on integrating this into their classroom. And I think we have a really cool tech leaders retreat, like an administrators retreat, where they all come and talk about strategies for administration. A boot camp if you're interested in becoming a Google education trainer, walking through that process, and then also a good old-fashioned Google education workshop that kind of just immerses you in some of this stuff before. So if anyone's interested in registering for those are still have room too, but I know that the summit's going to sell out here pretty quick, and so is the pre-summit workshop. So we're really excited. We're going to be setting up camp in Hawaii for a week, so should be really
How many can you take at the summit? How many attendees?
Iolani can host 500 folks, so they have a really nice auditorium, and yeah, I think we had 500 last year and shooting for 500 this year, so it should be really fun.
Oh, I thought it was more than that last year. 500?
Yeah, that's a capacity. It's usually held to the capacity of the auditorium, and I think there's a lot of interest in other islands and getting other people from other islands there. And so I think we were looking at possibly going to other islands. We did do a really cool Kamehameha Schools Festival back in October on Maui, so it's been really fun to help reach educators on the other islands as well. But we wish we could make it bigger. But if anyone has a big school and they wanna host some cool presenters, let us know.
That'd be cool. You went. Oh, there you are. You went black for a while, Wendy. And you're there, but not there.
Oh, am I hearing you?
I can hear you. That's okay. That's fine. Could you tell us about the PD credits, or did you say you didn't talk about that yet? Did you?
Yeah, so Brendan has helped work to secure, and we did this last year as well, secure DOE credits for folks who want to go. And if you want to do that, let me pull it up really quick, our document. It should be linked on the site, but let me pull this up and show you guys. Actually, it's just a note. But if you want, you can earn, how many credits can you get? It looks like what you have to do is you first register for the summit, and then you have to register on the PDE3 site, and then you have to just put in a section number, and you have a rubric for your portfolio. And then there's also, through PDE3, there's a $50 administration fee that they charge. But you should really do that. And why not I think it's really cool to make the most of your time and, get that set up for sure.
You just came back.
Oops, was I gone? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could hear you.
Yeah?
We could hear you, but
Oh, good.
I don't know. Maybe. Great.
Yeah, so I don't know. Do you think you guys will sign up for PDE3 credits, or is it? What are your guys' thoughts on that? Is that helpful?
If I was still in the DOE, I would.
Yeah.
It's cheap for. Is it 3 credits?
I think
3?
So. Yeah.
Is it 2? Still a good deal.
Yeah.
It's a good way to kind of
really
force
should.
yourself to put your learning to practice too.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, everyone, there's our, I'm not sure where we'll hold it this year, but there's the presenter social on Saturday night, so that's always a good time and a chance to network and meet with other presenters as well. So blot it out, more information coming soon. Last year we had it at a really beautiful place on Waikiki. I forgot the name of it.
Is it Duke's? I think it was Duke's.
Yeah.
I think it was Duke's.
Yeah, so it was nice to sit outside and relax for all of your hard work.
I must have missed that.
Boo! We're coming this
I can't remember. I'm sure I was invited.
Let our presenters know what do you think are some of the biggest things for Hawaii right now with integrating technology? What are Hawaiian educators most interested in this year? I know every year there's new mandates and new things that people are excited about, and we're always interested to hear locally what the best way to frame some of our sessions. What do you guys think when you're presenting Iron Chef or your Google Plus, Michelle or Jody, whatever sessions you guys are doing? What do you think? What do you like to frame to Hawaiian educators about using technology in the classroom?
Hey, that's a really great question, Wendy. I don't know if I have the best answer, but I think one thing that our teachers really like right now is time savers. So when they see how they can use Google Apps and respond to students immediately and not have to lug home a whole bunch of papers, they're really excited about that. They feel that it is a big time saver. I know, too, they really like how they can link everything up and share it easily with parents. So again, to them, that's time saving. I think that one thing we're seeing at our school as Google Apps extends just beyond the early adopters is that people are using Google Slides and Google Draw a lot, and they're finding that the kids are having fun with Google Draw for math representation to solve math problems. But
Nice.
That's at the elementary level, so just a couple things. Oh, I think also at our school, Hangouts have been a huge thing. The kindergartners have been connecting with classrooms. Actually, every grade level has connected with classrooms in the United States, and that's a super powerful tool. And then, I guess, like I said too, at our school, teachers are slowly sharing in our Google Plus community. I mean more and more teachers, not just the same ones. So I think they're empowered, and that's exciting.
Awesome. Thanks, Michelle, for sharing. It looks like while you were sharing some of the things folks are interested in out there, I was looking at the schedule, and Mark Wagner is coming out, and he actually he used to be the director of the Google Teacher Academy way back in the day, and then started EdTechTeam about 6 or 7 years ago, and so his sessions are always just a real blast, and he's giving a productivity tools for educators session that's always a winner, because I think you're totally right, Michelle, is that you can't really do some of the fun project stuff if you can't open up some time in your day, right? And so I think doing some of these strategies for productivity or efficiency in the classroom then opens you up to do all these cool things that you'll learn in Iron Chef with putting your tools together to solve stuff in your classroom, for sure. So Mark's session is really good. Jenny, the keynote, Jenny Magera, also does a really, really fabulous drawing session. She just basically has this awesome folder of all these templates and use cases. So she has 4 or 5 awesome math manipulative ones, and it's just so mind-blowing what you can do, for sure.
What are you doing, Wendy? I know you're doing one every session, aren't you?
Yep. Oh gosh, yeah. I think I have a nice Google Passport one with maps. I'm a big proponent of Writer's Workshop, so I love digging into Lucy Calkins' Writer's Workshop with all these tools. What else am I up to? Yeah, my maps. Oh, yay. Oh, and then I like having kind of a session. I usually pick the most comfortable room with couches and pillows and sit down. And a lot of teachers, get want to talk about or just take a break for a second and think about, well, what am I going to do next with all of these tools? So we kind of have, and it's a takeaway from the Google Teacher Academy, like an action plan, but for people who want to think about a project after all this that they've learned that they can put together, where can they get support? So I love doing that kind of at the end of the day as well. So yeah, those are my sessions, and all of you guys have great ones. I can't wait. I wish I could just, we've always talked. I think we put a couple Hangout on airs in the past, like we've live streamed a couple to get those, but they're always just so good. It would be great to just if one day when it gets as easy enough for Hangouts on air to just have people record their talk and their screen and share it. But for now, all of the awesome presenters will at least hopefully link up some cool stuff in case you couldn't go.
Yeah. It would be to have some virtual ones, like, people who can't come.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Do a couple of prototypes.
Ooh, yeah, just like give people a chance to share it out and see what happens.
Yeah. See if there's lots of good feedback, then do more, kind of thing.
Yeah, I gave one of my first, I gave a Hangout on Air training to Nigerian educators about 2 months ago, and I had to get up at 4 a.m. and to get them before they left for their day. But I haven't done that like a full-on, like a 6-hour training, fully virtual in some time. I mean, I know there's a lot of blended learning and online learning, but I mean, to have it just set up the Hangout and have your 10 students there and being able to pull them through docs and chat, and I was so surprised. I was like, gosh, I want to do more of this, because I mean, it felt as interactive as if I was in the room with them, and I was surprised I haven't done that yet. So it made me think that there's possibility for great online education using these tools for sure.
It does take some planning, though. I mean, to make it look seamless.
Right, exactly. I mean, you really have to do just like you would do, sit up at the whiteboard and kind of prepare all your stuff for the day, and definitely can't sit back, because I feel like you have to work even harder, because you're like, man, I'm not there to like use the proximity trick and walk by you while you're Facebooking. No. So you just have to make your content and activities as engaging as possible, and hopefully a little dancing and singing helps too. But
Great. Any other questions of Wendy? Well, I love the high energy of that conference. I mean, when you go in, you can just feel the excitement, all the goodies that are available right off the bat.
Any requests for types of swag or activities that were missing last year? We had for the California event, and it's always so nice and warm outside. We had like a fun Google backyard picnic with some, ways to chat and win. And so I think we had cornhole and some. I think we had a soccer game going on, so some nice activities outside in the sunshine too. Anything else you guys want to see this year? Anything new? Anything we can bug Swan from Google to bring us or tell us? We always bug him during his keynote to drop we call it NDA, non-disclosure, something, some sort of anything to squeeze something, and he does a really cool, I think he's going to do a Q&A. I highly recommend that session because people talk to him about products and kind of the vision of Google, where it's going, security questions, all that kind of stuff that, especially for administrators or people working with teachers, that are weighing on their mind. So I always love that session, because he kind of shares like we learned something about Google Sites, like that the team is, it's going to come out with a new one soon, just wait, so hearing that, being a frequent Google user, is yeah, right, Michael, is really cool. And then the fact that they really do listen to educators, all their products, Google Classroom is such a great example of that. Is literally built for teachers and by teachers. Folks, like Andrew Stillman and people like that were behind sharing, best practices for, assignment management in the classroom. What do you guys think of Google Classroom? Are you using it very much in your Google Apps schools, or is that popular right now? What are your thoughts?
Michael is active.
Steam. What's that?
Michael is active with Google Classroom. He's doing tutorials, and
I work with Jen Holland and her team on the forum, and
awesome.
They got a lot of neat things coming down the pipe. So.
Ooh, can you share anything?
No, I can't. NDA.
He's got some guides already. Google.
I had to sign.
Are you doing a classroom session, Michael? Is someone?
Yeah. I'm doing an intro to
cool.
Google
I want to
with,
go to that one.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah, I think it's been so cool how it's evolved from, they started it really simple, and now just hearing how teachers are using it and adding some of these post style, things to it to make management even better. So that's so cool. Yay!
Well, I'm pretty sure we'll see some new things before the GAFE Summit come out. So.
Ooh, perfect. And folks can go to your session to get all the latest and greatest. So awesome.
Michael's on it. When things come out, he's on it. It's great.
How about Chromebooks? Are any of you guys using Chromebooks right now in your classroom, or Android devices, or iOS? We have a couple of sessions for integrating, and you're there at the iPad Summit now, Michael, but finding ways. I think that's, even before I start any of my sessions, we kind of have to do device check 101, because everyone, in our bring your own device day and age now, it's kind of, before you do anything with kids or even with teachers, getting everybody, their environment, their technical home base all set up, because it can be very different. So I know that's one thing for people, if they're coming to the summit with an iPad, that I highly encourage them to go to one of the iOS sessions so that they can kind of get their their apps all set up, which ones are the best to get, what's the workflow, how do my kids turn in stuff, all those things. So what are your guys' thoughts? What are you using the most right now as devices in your classroom?
We're using quite a few Chromebooks at our school. For one thing, they're much more economical, and we love how quickly the kids can get on them, log into their accounts, and just be working already. Whereas with some of our other computers, there's more steps, just the login and different things. So definitely Chromebooks. And I think actually, wouldn't you say, Mike, that across DOE schools there's more Chromebooks being purchased?
Yeah, I think so, especially in the DOE, because it's just a cheaper, it's a cheaper alternative, so it's more affordable.
But then of course, the one-to-one schools, they have, they got MacBooks and iPads, right, Mike?
Yeah.
So do you think that those folks will be coming to the Google Summit in more numbers this year?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I mean, when they rolled out the one-to-ones of those 8 schools, it was MacBooks and iPads along with Google Apps for Education. So they'd had a year to kind of experience those tools and chew on it for a little bit. And
they have, but I've heard from an unhappy parent that you can do a lot more than just turn in papers electronically. So I really hope that those schools will be open to kind of like what Wendy was saying, the productivity and how you can get more out of it and streamline things, because there's just so much you can do in Google Apps. So
yeah, we're seeing a lot of. Sorry.
No, I'm just glad that they'll be coming then. That's your sense.
Oh yeah,
they're part of the 500.
Yeah, we're seeing. I mean, those are just 8 schools, right? But we're seeing a lot more schools in the state going one-to-one on their own, and then we got the Future Ready, starting up. So we'll see a lot more one-to-ones, I think, in the near future.
Yeah.
Awesome, and I think we have there's Calvin Palika is doing how to go one-to-one, how to transfer from a computer lab to a one-to-one school. I'm excited for that one, because that's always that step of that transition can always be tough. And but yeah, I think that's a good point, Michelle, is that teachers enter it so many different ways, and I think sometimes teachers I work with are not quite ready yet to throw their whole class online, or and so for them to get comfortable with these tools on a teacher level first is always one way to get going, and then usually once that happens, it comes into place with the kids, and you think, of course we have to be doing this, come on. So yeah, for sure.
And I think the summit's organized really well, because you folks anticipate all those different users, the people just getting started, the people ready for something else, and then people like Mike and Linda who are advanced users of Google Apps. Yeah. So the summit itself is organized really well for that, I think.
Nice, yeah. And how about and another one of the strands for Hawaii is Common Core for anyone who's trying to integrate that into their classroom. It looks like there's a couple from some local educators, like Mary Beth Baldwin is doing an engaging student author with Blogger. So there's some that are aligned to that as well, if that's something that you're working on at your school. Is that something that your schools are working with right now?
I would say across the state.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's
especially
nationally,
this year.
it's definitely a big focus. So it looks like there's quite a few that try to go out of their way to make sure. I think everyone's tied in some way to a standard, but it's nice to also look directly at some of these and how you can integrate it, because again, with technology integration, we don't want to make it something extra you have to do. It should be something you want to do and that makes your life easier and makes your students more motivated, right? So hopefully that can be a way that you can chip off some of that extra time for standards alignment and get things exciting in your classroom. Yeah.
Neat.
Cool.
Very
so zombie
cool.
apocalypse, everyone's excited for that one. Yeah. And Iron Chef. Are you going to wear an apron for Iron Chef, Michael? You better.
And
I'll bring
hat.
what does the guy eat in the show as an onion?
Oh,
so
yeah.
He takes a bite out of it. Maybe I'll bring an apple instead.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome.
Any other questions? This was fantastic, Wendy. I'm excited. I'm glad I'm going. I hope more people come. How many? Well, you can't say how many are.
Well, it's almost sold out, actually. So if you want
to,
yeah. So we want to. I think we've got a little bit of room left. But if you know of any schools that should be going or colleagues, make sure to tell them now so we can get them in. But even if that sells out, there's still the pre-conference workshops you can go to, but we're really, really excited. The community there is just one of the most fun. I love the photo booth. You can always tell from the photo booth who the strongest schools are, and I got to go through our pictures from last year, but there's one school that just got all 20 of their teachers together and just, I think that's really a fun part too, is coming with colleagues to any of these, whether you're, at the iPad Summit or here, get a partner in crime at your school, and, you don't want to come back and be the lone. I was the lone rogue at my school for a while, and it's tough out there to be the only person fighting for good teaching for your students. So bring someone along, or make a new friend while you're there, and just make sure you have someone to try to do this with when you get back, so you don't just, we don't want anyone to go home and get back to their classroom and be like, that was really cool, but that's never going to happen here. That we hope you leave saying that was really cool, and it's going to happen here today. So thanks for having me, Linda, and I'm so excited to see all these lovely presenters and to see you guys again on the island, and always more tips for Oahu. It's our 3rd year there, so I'm always looking for. I kiteboarded last time, so I need a new activity to give a go when I'm there. So I'll have to uncover each time a new layer of the island.
That is fantastic. I wanted to say probably that large group might have been the Halikula people.
I think it was. I really think it was.
They had a large group. Yeah.
That was a big group.
And Michelle's the one that's poking them along, going, yes, you got to do this. She's awesome.
That is awesome. We need Michelles in every school. So, and that's what we hope. We leave with more Michelles. More. I mean, it's just been so cool to see teachers empowered. To say, not only am I going to do this in my room with 30 kids, but going to some of these administrator workshops or finding out how to bring this at a larger scale. And you guys are all doing it now with with this show and helping Hawaii become really a standard for how to do this in difficult ways across different islands, and overcoming some boundaries there is really fun. So I'm so excited to work with you guys again. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you so much, and we will see you next month. Can you believe that?
Mahalo.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Thanks, Wendy. You too.
So we'll say aloha for now. Next week we're going to have a student show, pretty much student run. Jasmine Dewan is bringing her group, The Canvas. It's Hawaii's first student workspace, and we're actually going to be able to visit. They're going to take us around with their computers, so that's going to be very cool. So yeah. So next week we'll see you again. Thanks again, Wendy. Thanks everyone for coming on, and aloha for now.